So, hey everyone, this is our weekly informal little chat about marketing stuff and what's going on. So, what do we want to tell you all? Should we start with PLS, Eric? Let you talk about PLS, our lead system.
What is there to, well, a couple of days, we've got a new product rolling out. So we're as interested in seeing what's coming as you guys are. We have an idea, but it'll be good to see what Jeff has put together. And I think it's good. I think it's about time, we have something, sort of an AI product related, to take to the marketplace, being an AI generated affiliate platform. I think it's gonna open some doors, get more people in front of the PLS opportunity. I think more people will, AI is so hot right now. I'm constantly, I think most people are constantly, something AI pops up, they're at least eyeballing it and seeing, hey, is this something new or something I haven't seen yet? So I think it'll be a great product. So we will see. A
Yes,
couple days. Good price
yeah,
point, I think. What do you think? I think the price point's decent at 45. I think that's it's a good price point. It's certainly a good payout on that 35. So the only thing right now that it's my understanding is, they have to be a PLS member. It's not going to be sold separately at first. It will become a standalone, but I think they do have to be a gold member in order to purchase it out of the gate. But I am trying my best to convince them as quickly as possible to make it a standalone product as well, because I'd like to push separate campaigns just to that, if that makes sense. So, what are your thoughts, guys?
I agree.
yeah,
Standalone was better.
yeah.
Yeah, I would tend to go down that path as well. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to seeing what this is actually going to look like, and how Jeff is going to actually organize it in real time. So that'll be fun to see. And I do tend to agree. Yeah, a standalone product would be ideal, simply because people may not necessarily want or need all of the PLS tools. And we would lose out on sales of it if they have to be a member as well, which means they're also paying like the 55 almost a month plus. So now we're getting up into more expensive territory, which may leave a lot of people out of the loop too.
Yeah, I feel the same way, 100%.
But yeah,
Do you
Yeah,
know if
go ahead, Charles.
Tommy.
it's Tommy? Do
Oh,
you
Tommy,
know
go ahead, Tommy. Sorry.
will all in people have to pay the extra 45, or do you know? I hadn't figured that out yet. It's not a big deal. I'm just curious about it.
Only if you want the product. You don't have to.
No, but he said, I asked Neil about it. He said you would automatically be in it.
Oh,
And
if you're an all-in customer, if you're all in,
yeah,
Yeah.
you
yeah.
get 3
Then we
months.
automatically get grandfathered into
Yeah,
it too. Yeah.
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 So
Okay.
you get
So
my
you don't
understanding.
have, you do or don't have to pay the 45 extra. That's what I'm trying to
No,
figure
no,
out.
because they've included it in your. So what they did is it was the Lead Generation Academy product. They've basically stopped that one and put the AI Automation Academy in.
Yeah.
So that's what they've done there. So you'll get it as part of that all-in package. You get it for 3 months. You might, I don't know if he'll be lenient and give an extra month or whatever. But yeah, you won't have to pay anything for the first however many months you got left of your all-in.
Really?
But we'll definitely ask Neil and clarify. I know that you guys are going to get grandfathered in. I don't know what he's got set for time frame. So it could just be that 3 month period, or he may say, all right, well, we're not going to, we're going to give them 3 more months, or I'm not sure. He hasn't really said anything about that, but we'll try to get clarification on that today.
Good.
But you guys should be good to go. Should have access to it if you were all in. Just how long, I don't know.
Yeah. So that's the big power lead system news at the minute, other than the SMS leads are started now. So today it's really funny. I've had two messages. Somebody said, no sales yet. And then somebody else said, I've already got a gold. So it's just the numbers game, and it's just like a case
Yeah.
of waiting. That's my life. I've not had a sale. I've not had a sale. I need a
Yeah.
sale. I've got a sale. All right, I'll give it to you if I could, but you know.
Well,
Um,
I called them, and because I only got I bought the $100 worth and I only got four opt-ins, no sales, and I called to see if it was over, and he said it had just barely gotten started.
Yeah.
I said, well, I haven't got anything since last Thursday. He said probably get another batch go out mid to late this week. So apparently they don't send them all out at once.
No. That it's drip fed. It saves any problems. But so the thing is, where Neil is so close to being genius, right? But wouldn't it be nice if there was a way that we could go and see how our campaigns were doing? Because all that happens is, you guys know I have zero control over it, right? Eric has zero control over it. But for some reason, I've got the friendly face and people would rather ask me than ask PLS. And PLS don't run it, to be fair. It's an outside company. So Neil is a great owner. If you want to know, ask Neil. And this is another thing that we've kind of said. I've messaged Neil me and Eric have a chat group with him, and I've said you really need some way for somebody to go and say, look, I've had 100 sent out of 1,250, just so you can kind of gauge it. Because if they've only sent 100 messages, you've got a 4% response rate. Well, that's pretty damn good. I'd be happy with that. I'd be all right with that. You can project
Yeah,
forward out of 1,250. If it's out of 50, it's an 8% response rate. It's amazing. If 1,000 of them have gone out and you've only got like four leads, I'd be a bit, but we don't
yeah,
know.
that's what I feared. That's what I
Yeah,
was afraid of.
yeah. Neil's really good at not just chucking it all out to try and keep everybody happy that they're getting leads. He's trying to make sure it works the best, which is good. So if you're not in PLS, sorry guys, but we can talk any marketing stuff you want. But so the AAA product, AI Automation Academy product is launching, so that'll be good. Create a buzz. Hopefully you'll promote it out there, put it on your timelines and stuff. The SMS campaigns, we're trying to get some reports, and the problem is, like, Neil only ever sort of wakes up. By the time he comes online, I've had enough of being at the screen all day. So I'll try and jump on with him at night sometimes to get updates. And if we get updates, we'll update you every week as far as we know what's going on. But ideally, you'd be able to get your own updates if we get our way, so you'll know what's gone out. Other than that, Powerly system's still ticking along quite nicely. We could do with a surge. Eric's looking at all in
He
funnels.
he's been sending out automated messages too via text. Have you guys been getting those from Neil on some updates? Like, as I was going through mine today, and I gotten one. Hey, we're getting ready to release the AAA product. So he's sending out voice broadcasts. I'm assuming he's sending them out to all the members. Have you guys been
No,
seeing any?
I haven't.
no, I haven't
No,
either.
I haven't gotten anything either.
Interesting. All right, I'll ask him. I'll ask him about that today. So I was looking at my phone today. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. These are just ones that, when I opted in to test stuff. But then I started looking at them and going through them, and I'm like, well, no, wait a minute. These look like voice broadcast directly to, because he's talking about the new product launching and different things like that. So I'll ask him about that and find out what's going on there.
Cool. Lyndon says he's got a PLS update. I don't know whether he wants to say it or type it.
Yeah, I was just, if anybody was frustrated with the SMS ads, because I ordered last Monday and I got a few leads on Friday night and nothing since then. So I just called them and they said, yeah, when PLS opened it up, they had a flood of orders. Plus they had a learning curve on how to set it all up. But he said the learning curve's basically over, and probably starting now or early next week, it will be through to the order, and a couple of days later, you should have some leads coming in on a regular basis.
Okay,
That's
good.
great news.
Yeah, appreciate that. The thing you got to remember with PLS is it's like a game of two halves for me. You got the fact that it's 12 years old, so it's really well established. It's got credibility in the industry. They brought the AI in, but the AI part of it is like wow, amazing and exciting. But a phrase I'm hearing a lot at the minute on the other thing we'll talk about today, Jifu, is like we're building the plane on the way down. Right? And I think that's kind of happening a little bit with PLS as well, that we've got fantastic results with solo ads, in terms of numbers coming in, but then the retention's not quite where we thought it would be or wanted to be. So we're, again, me and Eric were trying to work with Neil on that to make that better. The SMS leads may be the answer. Fundamentally, he needs some way of like good, better follow up with the solo once they're in. And my belief is there needs to be a package that includes traffic, but we'll see. Eric's got other ideas as well, which Eric's always like creative. So, but you could imagine if everybody joined and got leads, who'd ever leave? So we've got the traffic test, and that's, I don't know if you saw Edwina's testimonial. She got, was it 3 in one day? She only spent $49, got 3 gold sales as part of the traffic test. But what I'm seeing is, well, that's great, but are those 3 people going to stay unless they get leads and sales coming in? So it needs to like self-fund itself, if you know what I mean. We need to make a package where, yeah, it's 99 a month and you get X amount of leads, or you pay 200 a month and you get X amount of leads. Because Lead Hero, they have a monthly package. I think Phil Solos do as well. Some of them do. But you only get the full AI follow-up with the SMS leads. And again, it's like, come on, Neil. Come on.
And
And
that's a question I had. I get all these leads from Bob Schwartz. I would like to send them something where they would get the same thing that these SMS people get, rather than the no
yeah,
retention stuff.
well, that might be coming between us. Don't tell anyone.
Said her supermarket's matching Aldi. Said her supermarket's matching Aldi.
That's interesting. Um, so, so yeah, 3 leads a day is a good offer. We never had amazing success with it because you message 100 people, you get 15 responses, and you're only getting 3 a day. So that means most days you're kind of messaging and you're not getting anything back. This way he's looking at it will just go straight in. Now I don't know whether that's going to be full AI or into the contact manager, but that might be the answer. And me and Erica kind of prove it. It's got to be
Yeah.
proved. Yeah. Neil's testing it now, so we'll be able to feedback on that.
Yeah. So we're just, again, the this new product launch, and then, really, I guess in the next week or 2, we should have a handle on what the SMS leads are doing. And, from there, and we're trying to figure out ways with the solo ads. I mean, we just saw something today where, an AI mail bot where, somebody can send an email and then, basically it'll go converse back and forth with them on autopilot and walk them through setup and getting started and all that. I mean, even having something like that in place for solo ads would be, yeah, they can talk to David and I get that, but I mean, I just think, you could converse back and forth. He have an automated bot going back and forth via email. Because people get lost. I'm in stage 1, and then there's a reminder. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to. What am I supposed to do next? And then boom, boom, all that's happening on autopilot behind the scenes. I think that would work. Something like that would work really well with the solo ads. So we're just making these suggestions now. But I would imagine, we got to get this launch of this new product off the ground, and then implementation on those sorts of things would probably start happening next month. But the good thing about Neil and Jeff is they're open to continually refining things and making things better. So like Paul said, we're it's an older company, but we're building it. We're building a new one as we go here. So
we're not part of PLS really, but we're just applying the things that we normally do for our teams. We're just letting Neil have it all because we find we couldn't reach people from solo ads quick enough. So why not just let everybody have it? So we get on well with Neil, and he works hard. He works so hard. At the minute, he's tired, isn't he, Eric? He's like, we know he's tired because he's on the phone all the time. But yeah, we had a 3K day the other day. We had a $3,000 day. It's a good place to be. He's just got to fine tune these little bits and things like if you want traffic for the SMS, you go there. If you want solo ads, you have to go there. Edit account name. What? Yeah, well, it's in the video. It's fine. He's like, no, it needs to be a bit more streamlined. So we're working on that. So, and yeah, you should change the name. That's a good idea, London. What do you think, Eric? Change the name to PLS 2.0.
Yeah, if it was up to me, just being upfront and with you guys, I would gut. See, originally when PLS came out, I mean, at the time it came out, the technology was great. I mean, for building the building systems, lead cap pages, and all that. But nobody's really doing that with this system. Although you can, I mean, it has, all this functionality on the back end. I mean, originally it was meant for, it didn't matter what company you're in, you could get into Power Lead system, build out custom funnels, build out these things for your particular program. And then it was a place to have a contact manager, and you could use it as a, lead generation, software. But, like I said, there's so many other tools out there now that people aren't using those tools. So I'd like to see it go to almost a 100% AI based. We have the AA now, but something even with gold where it was like they're coming in at the 50 something month and it's all centered around AI. I'd like to be like 100% AI. The affiliate everything is done. Everything is AI in the system. So you can make money with it. Eventually we have tools that people can use, and that people can come in and everything's done for them. Either tap into the tools or, leverage the system to do all the the entire sales process for you. So that's kind of where I keep pitching that. That's kind of where I'd like to take it, and almost, in the next 90 days, revamp and get rid of a lot of the stuff in the back office, because I think it just confuses people. I mean, honestly, that's why I tell people just go order your traffic. Usually I tell people go explore. I'm like, no, because they go onto the legacy or the beta. You get back there. I'm sure some of you guys have gone back
If
there.
anybody goes back there, they're messed up. They're lost at that point.
Yeah,
right?
it's like I want, like that's my thing. I want it to be like so simple that it's like, there's
That'd be
nothing
stupid
back there to
simple.
confuse people. It's like, what do you do? How do you make money with this? I order my traffic and the system takes care of that. Well, what else? Well, and I learn AI to make my life easy, because I also use social media. So I use their tools and their training, and I'll spend 30 minutes a day creating content for a month. Well, oh my God, So I think if that's the focus, then more people will just be like, okay, this is so easy and simple, which it is. It's just like you said, it's so convoluted right now with, and his programmer, he built all that. So I know it's kind of like him telling his guy, like, hey, we got to gut all this. But at some point, I think he's got to make a decision on that, because, I don't even want people to click on legacy or even go explore, because, they're just like, what?
They're lost at that point.
What
That's
do
one
I
of the
do
things that
now? Like,
frustrated
what do
me
I?
about it years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
But I think we're getting there. I think all those things will happen, and I'm excited about this new product. So,
I had somebody join and the gold member, and they were like, "Oh, help! Can you help get me started?" I'm like, "See the new back office? Is it step one? Do you see that? Yeah."
Yeah.
Pretty big clue. But that's
Yeah.
that's what happens with people. They're like, even though
Yeah.
it says step one, they're like, "What do I do?"
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you ask him,
Yeah.
you're more confused than you are when you're starting. I agree with Paul. He's a genius about developing stuff that his teaching and explanation skills are minuscule, to say the least. And that's why you get so many calls, Paul, because
Hello, Neil. Hope you're well.
I'm sorry, I would have to say it to him.
Any questions on PLS before we move
I
on?
have a suggestion for sort of talking about suggestions and ideas and thoughts as well. I'd like to throw my 2 cents worth in as also. On that sales page, okay, which looks really nice. It's very attractive, but that button area where they're supposed to click to talk to David, it is too small. It's almost invisible. You would scroll past it very quickly and not even realize it was there. So I'm suggesting that they develop, and Jeff can probably do this with all of his toys and his AI stuff, develop a little character, an image of a little character that is David, and put that on there so that it makes people actually stop when they get to that point and say, oh, well, what's this all about? And then you say, well, you click this guy to talk to him.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. I do.
I don't know if it can animate. It probably can with Hey Jen.
No, but even if it's there and they just click it and then they're able to just start, because I agree with you. I just was talking to somebody the other day, and sometimes, and I've done this, I've literally, I take a screenshot and I go, hey, click on this to talk, because I was trying to tell them and they're like, where do I click? And I'm like, and so it is. I totally agree with you on that.
Lots of people are going right past it without even realizing it's there.
I think a cool, AI character would like David or, David, and it just says, click me to talk, to have a chat with me about this. I think it's a great idea, and we'll make that suggestion today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be hard to do either. I mean, it's just,
No, it shouldn't be hard to do.
it's
I mean, you can
simple.
use AI to create the character, or you can even just look up on stock photos and things and find something that's suitable. So yeah.
Well, yeah, yeah.
You've
All
got,
right, cool.
you've got to
Yeah,
remember, guys, that most of us here have probably spent a lot of money on solo ads and got absolutely zero for it. Here it is converting. So now we've just got to work on, the retention, because the product itself is kind of, what is the product? Well, really the product is, it's a completely done for you AI automation system, but that only works if you buy the leads, doesn't it? So if you come in and you're not buying the leads, what are you paying for? That's my take on it. Trying to
Yeah, we have to make sure we sell them as a completely automated lead generation system.
Yeah,
That's the important key, because
that's
if
where
we
you
just
get
say,
your leads. Yeah.
yeah, just say an automated system, then for what? What's that all about? So by saying and emphasizing the lead gen aspect, we make it more attractive to people who are already in the industry and who could use that tool to generate more leads as well, as simply and easily as is humanly possible.
Well, I want to test promoting another company to the leads that I've got in the contact manager. And we kind of said to Neil, maybe one thing we can look at is we could just go from company to company and set up like PLS on the front end as a that's Eric's idea, self-funding lead generator. And then you're promoting Jifu, New Skin, what's around at the minute, Go High Level, whatever it is that you're promoting from on the back end. And then you could go to everybody in New Skin and say, look, we've got this marketing system for New Skin. You could go to Go High Level and say, look, everybody, we've got all this set up already for Go High Level. This is where you get your leads. The AI deals with it. There's human people. It's a self-funding front end. I think that would rock. I think that's a really good idea.
If you really pitched it this way, guys, I mean, if you looked at the gold membership at 53, if I said to Paul, look, Paul, you're in Jifu, right? You're in this, and you need leads, right? Like anyone else. Okay, yeah, I need leads and people who are interested in making money from home. Yeah, those are the people I need. All right, well, listen, for 53, bucks a month, you can get access to our funded lead generation system. And how this works, Paul. So that right away, the 53 is just to have access to the system. Then I'm saying, well, what we've done is we have strategic partnerships with both the best of the best tested solo ad providers plus SMS, and we're adding more vendors. So you can come in and actually run traffic. Those leads will be captured inside your system. You can re-promote your Jifu to these folks, right? They're coming in because they're interested in making money from home. So you can promote that. But while you're doing it, our system is going to because what does every one of those people need at home, right? They're looking for a way to generate leads. We all need the same thing. If we're in home business, we need leads. So our system's going to introduce itself to those folks. And if those folks decide, hey, I'd like leads as well, and a system like this, you're going to be compensated for that. So you're actually self-funding your leads. You're making money, and you'll be able to just tap right into our system, order the leads. They'll be in your contact manager, and from there, you can email them. If they do SMS, you have a phone number, you can text them, you can call them, you can do whatever you want. If it's just an email lead, you can just send them an email. So it's a different kind of way of pitching it. And I personally, for that, would pay 53 bucks a month to access a system like that if it was explained that way.
Because where else can you get the AI? Where else can you get SMS leads these days? So it is a good thing. So we'll continue to work on that. Any more questions on Power Lead System? Okay, so the other thing is, so me and Eric, we kind of got to the point now with Power Lead System where we almost feel redundant, because it's like, okay, well, you can go and buy SMS leads. The AI handles it. Neil's great at speaking to people. So they were still working on kind of suggesting this to him, suggesting that to him, and working with him. Not that he has to listen to us, like I say, we're not involved in any way really, other than we got on well with him and he likes what we do. So he takes what he likes and he leaves what he doesn't. So I used to be in a company called IM Academy. Some of you might remember that. I was there for 7 years. I'm not a program hopper, right? I tend to like to build and not get scattered. But Power Lead System, what do? You buy leads, you let the AI handle it, and you let Neil, and he's got a team, on board ready to go to speak when he's too busy to do it. So I've always wanted to get back to kind of the IM days, and I'm looking for recurring income. We had a $3,000 day the other day. I absolutely freaking love it. But guess what? If you want to make $3,000 another day, you got to make two sales again, haven't you? Of the all in. If you want to do it again another day. So, and when you promote on social media, you get to a point where you need fresh blood coming in all the time. Nothing wrong with it. It's absolutely fine. And people argue about what's best, recurring or high ticket. Well, why not have both? So, Michael Martin, a lot of you know Michael Martin. He's personally enrolled over 4,000 people in IM Academy, and he joined me in IM Academy. And it led to this very interesting situation where you have three legs that you work with. So I set up my own group and he set up his own group, which is fine. But that makes us enemies. Even though we're in the same company on the same team, he said, "You never gave me any spillover." And I said, "Well, why would I? Because I need to build the other legs because you did so well." And I said, "You didn't put anybody under me." Well, he said, "Why would I? Because that's a separate leg." So although we're good friends and we meet up when he comes over here and we hung out in Vegas when we were over there and everything, it was this really interesting sort of situation where we're really good friends, but also kind of rivals, even though he's my star player. So anyway, he's joined PLS, right? And we were chatting one day about PLS and he said, "Oh, I don't know if you'd be interested, but," and he let me know. The cat's out the bag, and that's where everybody knows. But basically everybody from IM has gone to Jifu, this company called Jifu, Jifu. So he said, "Oh, no, I don't think you'd want to do trading again." And I just said, "Look, I got burnt out with all the support and trying to help people and everything. But you've got a really good, fantastic group, haven't you?" We'd be exactly on the same team, wouldn't we? And he goes, "Yeah, for sure." So basically, I joined the same day before I even really understood what everything was about Jifu, just because I know the opportunity there to build a recurring income. In terms of the trading, it is exactly for anyone that was in IM Academy 2 years ago. That's what Jifu is. One of the Manny Canonis is there, Nick Engels is there. Who else is there? Somebody else. Oh, the main thing is that Michael Martin built his success on the impulse scanner that Brandon Boyd developed, him and Josh Lee. And Michael has a bonus indicator that gives alerts and makes it really easy to use the impulse scanner. So Brandon set the impulse up and he made sure he owned it. So he's left IM. He's Our team has put 3,000 people in a few days, right? A lot of them Brandon bringing people over. Yeah, Kevin Serrano, that's it as well. So, um, so what was I going to say? So Michael, I can just plug into what Michael's already got set up and get his bonus indicator and everything. And Brandon is bringing Impulse over. It might even be this week, but it should be next week, right? For sure. So if anybody is not involved yet and is interested in that, I'm more interested in the recurring income because I say to Eric all the time, yeah, it's great, but now we need to make more sales, right? You can use your social media. I've written a document today aiming at helping people get forward. This one is 4 and 3. 4 no more, they call it. If you refer 4 people, right, then you don't pay the monthly fee anymore. But this is where me and Eric are. We want to be the Uber of the online world. We want to be the Airbnb of the online world. We've seen people, in fact, Map, anybody that's involved in Map is great. It's free to join and all, but you can tell they're getting glitches, aren't they, with got to deal with all the customers now and we've got payment processors and you know, we don't want to set up our own company. We want to Uber doesn't own a single car. Airbnb doesn't own a single property. Well, maybe they do, I don't know. But that's what we're trying to do. So it's a case of the master plan affiliates is you got income that you can make whether you work on, sorry, you got income coming in whether you work or not. Well, that's recurring. So yeah, we can do that with PLS to a degree. At the minute though, the retention tells us high ticket is the better option and people come in and the high ticket is what sells and you only need 2 sales to make a really decent profit out of that, right? I know Jifu like the back of my hand because it's like IM Academy. The only difference is when IM Academy went to Eovia, well, they started doing it as IM. Oh, if you want this, it's an extra $30 a month. If you want that, now you've got to upgrade to this $250 a month package. Jifu have travel, they have health, they have financial, like wealth information, credit repair. They do all of
Real
these things. It's just
estate,
one package.
e-commerce,
Yeah, e-commerce, if you want to sell
real
on
estate,
Amazon. What else? Sorry, Am?
real estate.
Real estate training. and it's all under one package. You don't pay it. Nobody pays any less. Nobody pays any more. It's one package. It's very simple. It's four no more. Manny Canones is there. I know Manny. I did his Smart Monix for a while. I love Harmonic Scanner. It's really, really good. He's there, right? And this is what I mean. I logged in and it's like, shit, is it 2023 again? So if anybody is interested in Gifu, hit me up, or if you're in IM, hit that person up because they've probably moved over as well. So mass exodus to it. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing so far. I'll be honest, I'm letting Michael's team handle the trading. I've looked at the trend wave scanner today. I would have won the first trade. That's good. But all around, I'm seeing the gold one. I'm seeing people going, this gold one's great. 4 for 4, 3 out of 4, working really well. So if anyone's got any questions on that, I'm happy to answer, or I'm happy to send info or whatever. But that's what we're doing. I'm seeing this is my recurring income play for me and Eric. And if you don't know, I got to 10K a month in IM, and I got very close to 25K a month. Then it all just fell away.
Did you mention that there's such an advantage that we're now under Michael's team, because now we have access to all of his tools and toys as well, which we didn't have before?
Yeah. So it was a very weird situation because I'd get messages every week. Hey, Paul, I've just joined IM. Fantastic. I've just joined IM Academy. Fantastic. So yeah, can you send me your bonuses? I'm like, I don't see you in my back office. No, I joined Michael. So why do I support you? Because I don't actually make a penny from you, right? And then also it would be, hey, Paul, just to let you know I'm leaving. Oh, that's a shame. Sorry to hear that. Where are you going? Well, I'm leaving IM Academy to go to IM Academy. What do you mean? Well, I want Michael's bonuses as well as yours. So I'm leaving you to go and join and people would go backwards and forwards, sometimes a few times. And it was very, very odd, even though, again, we're on the same team. So now we're united and it's much better. Can you promote Gifu using Powerly System, Ed? That's what we were saying earlier. Yeah, all the leads that come in, they go in your contact manager and you can email them with anything you like on the back end. I would also send a personal message, maybe. You only need to type it out once, but you can set it up as a campaign. You can send it out en masse to everybody that comes in. So like Eric said earlier, anybody that's joining Powerly System, they're interested in making money from home. The advantage with trading is you don't need to sell, you don't need to refer. And the other thing I like about Gifu, see if I can get the results up while we're talking, if I can remember where they were. But the FTC, they don't like anything that takes the trade for you. So auto traders, robot traders, anything like that, if you get big enough, they kind of look to take it away. So what Gifu do, they have a tap to trade technology. So the trade will come up on your phone, and the idea is you can look at it and you can analyze it and decide if you want to do it or not. And if you do, you connect your broker, set that at once, and then all you need to do is literally tap to say, yeah, I want to set the trade. Send the information over to your broker, away you go. And I think that's going to be huge. Me and Eric, we're into done for you. That's why we love PLS. You honestly have nothing to do. You order the traffic, you let the system run, right? How many hours have I spent trying to tell people where bloody stop loss goes? Drives me mad. If I have to do it again, I will probably kill myself and others, right? I just got burnt out with it. But now, tap to trade. You got Michael's team only does Q&A now. Maybe they're talking about maybe they'll do some more, but you don't need to. And his indicator, guys, I downloaded it today, is really good. Really good. That works with the impulse scanner. So it's like I really didn't like I am at the end and what they were doing, and that's why I left, because everything was so expensive. And I was kind of a bit burnt out with it all. See if I've got results anywhere. You can find them.
And Paul, we regarding PLS, we are kicking around the idea. Don't quote me on this. It may be another month, but in PLS right now, Paul has an ebook in there. It's a $7 ebook that you can sell, and you actually generate $6 commissions on that sale. So what we brought up to Neil was we want to revamp that and sort of change it a little bit, where it's NLP related, but it's Forex related, trading related, has a lot of value. But what we can do with that is we can build in an autoresponder with that. So when they purchase, they get access to the, it's a $6 commission for you guys on a $7 sell. It's a light way to get somebody in who may be interested in learning about trading. But then on the back end and in that email sequence, what are we doing? We're pitching Jifu and the community and the tools. So that's something that is in talks, and I think will happen. Now we know things never happen here quickly. So
well, if it doesn't happen, with PLS, Eric, I could set something up in Business Academy. So
and I think it will happen with PLS because he's already sort of agreed. We just know that it's going to take probably another 30, 45 days to get it all set up and everything. So
the other thing is, when I left IM, I did a couple of trainings with the straightforward Forex system, right? You couldn't get, the app and everything, but I did some trainings. I'll give you the strategy for free, guys. The amount of positive feedback I had was amazing. And yet some of that positive feedback, and like one guy messaged me to tell me he passed a funded account with straightforward Forex, right? But they were leaving IM Academy, even though they liked straightforward Forex. There were, people passing funded accounts. They love Manny, but of course Manny went, so that meant and so on and so on. So I don't know what I'm going to do with straightforward Forex because I don't want to get burnt out, but I'll probably do some free trainings that we can give away to get people interested. These are the stats. I think this is for the month so far. I think I'm like I say, still learning. So they've done 8 total trades and they've had 6 wins.
Is that on the tap?
Yeah, tap to trade. Yeah.
See, to me,
it's all blurry.
To me, the tap to trade is going to be once we kind of get through this initial build. I'm going to put all the marketing around the tap to trade, me personally, because again, I'm looking at it as people trying to enter the trading world and having a done for you system. And that can be sold as one, and I think that's going to be very appealing because, people that have been in trading, they've done the auto traders and been burnt. Okay. And then they've also come into trading and they've just been overwhelmed. And, there's been, 50 different ways to trade, this asset or that asset and 1,000 different indicators. And that's why when I traded, the only thing I ever traded was gold. And the reason I only traded gold is because I had my system, I had my indicators. I still traded every once in a while still, but I had my little system. And because I got to me, it was totally confusing when you're talking to me about 40 different ways to trade a pair. I just focused on one thing, gold, and I had my system, and that's it. I had my indicators. It worked more than I lost. And I think there are a lot of people out there who are looking for something like that. You want to learn other stuff, you can. It's all there. It's a community, but for somebody who's never traded it before, that can tap in, set up a broker account, and then tap into this tap trading. I think that's pure gold. Absolutely.
I agree with you, Eric. I totally love that part of it. And that's probably the one thing that I'll focus on the most as far as trading is concerned, because there are a lot of people like me, for example, who were trying to learn 8 million different strategies and spent hours and hours every day sitting in front of a screen looking at flipping charts.
Yeah.
And it just got to be so overwhelming. It was incredible. So to be able to have something as simple as that, where, okay, there's a trade coming up today, let me have a look at that. Yep, okay, it looks good. Boom, done, I'm in. And that's it. And I don't have to have all my time sucked up looking at charts.
Exactly. And everything, Paul, correct me if I'm wrong, everything is set up on that trade. They've incorporated risk management, they've incorporated stop loss, take profit. Everything is so it truly is a tap and let the trade execute. And if some are going to win, some are going to lose, but you don't have to sit like Ann, you said. That's why I started just doing gold, because I'm like, I would learn a strategy and then 4 more would hit me, and then I'd be like, oh, I need to know those. And then I very quickly was like, yeah, I'm done with this. I'm only going to do one thing. I think it's a huge...
Michael's team, they do smart money still, but to be honest with you, this was my argument with smart money. I hate smart money. You got to wait for this setup, wait for that setup, and then it's this candle. But but not in this situation because it's a Tuesday, right? So normally, but not on a Tuesday, So and that's what I always found with smart money. And a lot of people with smart money, they're like, oh, no, you should only trade smart money. So they still do smart money. But most of the team use impulse, vast majority, right? Because it's simple. So these are the wins. So this is using, yeah, the ATH indicator. So this is the impulse strategy. So he did a 1-to-1, but it would have done more. Look, I don't know if it would have gone further. Scalp 4 points on micro gold. Let this one ride. Gotten a bit too early. I don't know if that means he lost. This one here, that's at least a 1-to-1. That's at least so one if their scalping strategy is basically just go for a 1-to-1 because the win rate is so high. I think I haven't had a lot of time in here. That's definitely that's a 1-to-3 or 1-to-2. Let's call it a 1-to-2. 1-to-2, 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 1-to-2. Maybe that's even a 1-to-3. 1-2, yeah, that's a 1-to-3. So, and this goes on and 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 on. So why would I even want to think about setting up a group? I'm just plugging in, and me and Eric are gonna meet up one day because we never actually met in person, sipping a beer on the beach while Michael has all the headaches.
You're welcome to come to Panama next year, buddy.
Yep, I'll come to Panama, drive one of
You'll
those
love
old
it.
50s cars. And it goes on and on, and it's all different now. It's not always the same people. You will see the same people in here, but I've been through. It's not just the same person who's like the one good trader in the whole community out of like 6,000 people or whatever. It goes on and on and on and on and on and on. What's that one? That's 1-to-3 easy. And on and on and on. So this is like support is there. Support is there. Tap to trade is there. Jump to present. And if you're interested in the recurring income, I've put I put a guide together. I'm not going to share it with you yet, but basically I've been spending a lot of time with AI going backwards and forwards, like referring for people. Exactly how can you do it if you've got no audience, nobody knows you, you don't want to be on camera. Go around and research what the top people do to make that happen, and we're calling it the Fast Five. Why do you want five? Because when you get five people, you get spillover as well. I've given spillover, I've received spillover. My cup runneth over, and that could have been under you. It could have been under you. And my aim is to get 10 people, help them get 10, and then help all those get 10. That's 1,000. Me and Eric will be sat quite nicely on, well, maybe you might upgrade, mate. Where's better than Panama? He's only going because it's cheap. Don't need to go because it's nice. And it uses the US dollar, doesn't it?
Not just cheap, but
Costa
no,
Rica.
it's where?
Costa Rica.
Yeah, Costa Rica is nice too. I'll go all over South America, and then I'll head up. We'll head to Asia. I mean, wherever, all over the place.
Yeah, that's another place that's affordable is Thailand.
Thailand and
Beautiful beaches there.
Malaysia. We've been looking a lot at Malaysia.
Yep.
So Singapore is a little bit more expensive, but healthcare, everything's great, and yeah, everything's a little bit more chill. So
As long as you don't get ill.
What's that?
Healthcare is great as long as you don't get ill.
As long as you don't get ill, that's correct.
So, guys, I could do a going soon. So, is anybody? I'm happy to stay on for a bit if anyone's got questions, thoughts, opinions, need to know anything about marketing, even if it's not PLS or GFU, and you just need to know anything. Ask away.
I'm curious if anybody has any sort of positive feelings about the two companies that are headed up by Mr. Paul Lynch. Does anybody have anything positive to say about him?
Let me think.
He's got this new deal now that he's saying why he went silent is coming up with this wonderful, fantastic new deal, and I suppose he's probably going to try to get everybody to kick in more money, which is, he can whistle and pass the graveyard for me, but
it's the thing for us with that was it did do great at the it did do great at the start, but me and Eric were looking at TikTok. We were customers the same as everybody else, and right, you can go back and look at messages. We're customers the same as you. We're learning now. I've worked with Paul before, and I did expect things to like. I know he thinks fast, right? I don't expect it to be what it is. It's not,
Yeah.
you know. And do you know what? We've all done things that haven't worked out. We brought a washing machine. It was Indesit washing machine. We called it Indeshit, right?
Yeah.
You sometimes in life things happen, and that's one thing that happened. And we're just we're owed money on it. We can't speak to him. We can't get hold of him. We're ghosted.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's a con man.
So we either, it's like the question is how hard do you want to fight, or do you just want to go and move on and do stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the way I'm thinking about him, even though I got 3 grand in it.
You can make 3 grand back with PLS with two sales of all ins.
Right.
And
And I think
that's what I
that,
mean. We're not flippant, we're not blasé, right? You can be on with 14 people in GFU, you can be on $700 a month with just 14 people. With
yeah.
30 people, you're on 1,000, and there's spillover at the minute to be had. We're in at the start, we're in early, it's,
Yeah.
I'll be able to plug into all of Michael's marketing on top of what I do. And I personally put 500 people into IM Academy, and used to trade every single day. Do you remember those days? You know,
Yeah.
cheers,
Yeah.
Helen. So,
It,
and
it,
for
it, it it's tough. It's just tough out in the online world. I mean, I could tell you've been doing this since 2000. I could tell you stories that would blow your mind, and money I've lost, and situations I've been in with people that it is what it is. And you know, I think you just never know. You never know what these companies. I think I just heard that what was it that that Now site thing. I
yeah,
remember I
yeah.
remember even Ray Higdon was promoting that. Everybody, all the big names were promoting that. They just basically ghosted. And then I think they had close to like 20,000 affiliates.
Well,
I think
when I
they
joined
ghosted everybody,
HBA,
didn't they?
when I joined Home Business Academy, there was a guy in there called Nick Bramble, and Rob
Yeah.
Thor was under him, and they were like big HBA guys. And then it was like Now site, no, Now site's what you want, and lost loads of people to Now site.
Yeah, so I mean, you do your best, to make the right partnerships, but you just never know. I mean, that's the only thing, with PLS. I know that it has, they're still growing, even though they've been around. But I've known Neil personally for years, and I know that there were several times that PLS could have, you know, fallen apart or gone down, and he kept it going. And I just think he's that type of guy. And so I think it'll continue to improve and be around, because if you're going to invest time and energy in something, you don't, it sucks when it goes away like that. And then the Jifu thing, I don't know a lot about the company itself. I know it's been around a little while, but
It's
knowing
2000. Yeah, it's been.
Michael Martin and how those guys operate, they're not, Michael will do behind the scenes stuff, other streams of income, but you'll never see him. Michael sinks his teeth into something, and he was the last one to leave, IML and all that. They've been for 2 years trying to get him to leave that company, but he will stay till the very end. So that's the one thing I know about that community and him. If this Jifu just does what it says it's going to do and it stays around for the next whatever, Michael will be there and front and center taking care of people. So
Well, it's
you know,
it's most of, it's pretty much the whole of IM Academy. So
yeah. So
And it's
Ed, I've
already
just sent you
existed
a
since
link.
2019.
what's that?
2018, I think I saw Jifu. I saw on one page it was
Yeah.
2018. So
Okay,
um,
well,
yeah,
my intel tells me 2019, but but
Yeah.
anyways, and it's evolved over the years, and it's gone from
Yeah.
initially just a travel company to where it is now.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we're in good shape with those two. Yeah. But if Paul Lynch, like I said, we can't even get a hold of Paul Lynch. So, but yeah, I don't think I'd be confident in unless it was a tool or something, because he's made some good tools I've used in the past. But if it's a deal, no, I'm good. But I was already doing TikTok before that. We're still doing TikTok Shop, and things have gotten a lot tougher on TikTok, especially for the US with the algorithm change and everything going on. But we still do content on TikTok and TikTok Shop and all that stuff. But it's 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 just a little bit different now than I think when they got everything started with this program. So who knows? Who knows? But that's all I got.
Yeah. So, anything else? In that case, I'm going to go, and I think I'm having a quick chat with Anne. If you've got 5 minutes as well, Eric. If not, cool. And then I'm
Oh
going
yeah.
to cook. I'm going to go and cook some salmon for my wife, and then take her to a meeting she's got, and then maybe I'll open the whiskey later. So, yeah, if anybody
Well,
needs anything, message
you
me.
may have cooked some salmon for her if she didn't hear what you were saying about her in the other call. In
No,
that
don't say
case,
that.
huh?
She listens at the door, don't you? Unfortunately,
Just kidding, Lorraine.
she's got two
You can
black
feel
eyes.
those eyeballs burning his scalp right now.
She's got two black eyes at the minute, unfortunately. I had to tell her twice.
I have a feeling I think we'd have to save you, Paul.
All right. All right, guys. Thanks for coming on. See you next week. We're working hard. Anything you need, let us know. Catch you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you.